Yo, what's good, fam? We back with another one on marriage or hell nah, bro. And you already know what time it is, man. I know you guys already seen videos out there talking about this, situation that my man PJ Washington finds himself in, man. But I decided to, do a little bit about this topic and cover this topic because he is a Kentucky basketball player. Yo, if you don't know, because I don't really divulge this on this channel, but I've always been a Cal fan. I'm talking about you know, going back to Kentucky, I can remember, since Monster Mash stepped on campus. So I've been a fan of Kentucky basketball, not only just PJ Washington, but going all the way back to Tone Walker. You talking about Monster Mash, Patino, like you get the gist of it. And bro, the reason why I had to do this video, man, is because my heart goes out to this kid, PJ Washington, man, because he finds himself in the situation dealing with another woman who's just been, preying on the man, preying on the man. I don't care what nobody says, son, she was preying on this dude for the longest, and she managed to get the outcome she was looking for. What outcome is that? Fast forward, man, it's not looking good for our boy PJ, man. So I want to be able to talk about the situation, but from a perspective of teaching our young brothers out there that you got to be watching, bro. Eyes always got to be open because even when you think you got it on easy street and you good out here, people be plotting, and I don't care what nobody say. Brittany was definitely trying to secure the bag and she plotted in this one. So we're going to take a real deep look at this whole situation. I'm going to cover it from the beginning and then I'm going to kind of progress to the end of the situation, tell you where we find ourselves at. We're going to do some reactions to some videos, but then we're going to talk about this just as a learning lesson for our young brothers out here looking to come up. And women, if you're watching this too, this is not the way to come up on a guy. Like, if you're trying to come up, this is not the way to come up. Why don't you build with a person over the course of time and not be like this woman and then have something? Like, we all trying to get to, you know, LeBron and Savannah levels. Like, do it like that. Don't do it this way. So, all right. So, what are we really talking about right here? So, we're really talking about this young brother, PJ Washington, who's been in the news of late because he decided to get a certain woman pregnant. And this woman happens to be, her name is Brittany. Now, this is the same Brittany who has dated other people. I've managed to find this with Little Uzi Vert. I don't know her situation with Little Uzi Vert, but and just doing some quick internet research, I found pictures with her, Little Uzi Vert, pictures with her in 6ix9ine, and then she's trying to be now this girl with the young PJ Washington, who is, I want to say 2019 first round pick of the Charlotte Hornets, number 12 selected. And a brother who's had to really work on his game, man. Because if you know anything about the young PJ, when he first touched down in Lexington, bro, he wasn't really the finished product, running the traditional four, and really had to kind of learn how to step out and shoot the three. He had to slim up a little bit under Cal's program, who managed, in his first year, he might have thought about going pro, but it just ain't work out for him that way. Had to spend 2 years on campus in order to get his game right before he can get selected. But who was waiting in the wings? Look at her with the smile of devilment, just there. And some people gonna be watching this and they gonna be like, yo, that ain't her fault. Yo, he had to invite her there for her to be there. Yo, I don't care what you say. Shorty was plotting on him because at the end of the day, this kid might have really been like 18 years old at the time when Shorty started this plot. And we're gonna take a big, look at this whole thing. But you see her right here in the Kentucky jersey. You think she got that on for a grown man like Cal? You think she got that on for, some type of sponsor or somebody else that's at Kentucky? No, she got this on for PJ. So if she's got this on for PJ, when she stepped down to come on campus this day for this basketball game, Shorty had to be like about 27. You know what I mean? When PJ was probably like 18, 17, probably, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? But I can't really say he was 17. That might be a bit stretch of the imagination. But Shorty was damn near almost 10 years older than him when she started the plot, right? So now PJ finds himself in the situation the way he's starting to realize that, yo, he just got this girl pregnant. She was trying to secure the bag, make sure she got a kid out of him. And bro, she about to turn 30, and this man just, I think he just turned 21, bro. And now he got this whole life to look up and deal with this situation. And there's been some exchanges on Twitter back and forth, and especially from his end of saying, yo, like, yo, you really had no love for me, for you to do me that way. And Shorty broke up with him according to the news or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna cover it a little bit more. So bear with me as I share the screen. As you guys know about what we're talking about right here on the channel, we trying to, show lessons. And LaMelo, you up next, bro. Like, don't let it happen to you, bro. But we got to start at the beginning. So bear with me while I share my screen with you guys, so that way I can take you through this journey of little things that I managed to find out about the situation. So I want to introduce you guys to, PJ as I remember him. Like, I definitely followed him at Kentucky, during his first 2 years at Kentucky, but also, he made a popular YouTube video. And it wouldn't even put it past me, if Shorty started like really, really like plotting on him at this particular moment. I can't say that this is how it happened, but bro, we gotta look at this, man, because I really think that this is crazy. If Shorty managed to see this video right here, this decided, you know what? This is where I'm gonna begin my treachery.
PJ Washington. I'm at home in quarantine, practicing social distancing, and I hope you guys
fair use.
This is how I spent and saved my first $1 million.
All right. So we just set the stage, right? This is PJ Washington, who is now already been drafted number 12 pick of the Charlotte Hornets, right? He's talking about how he spent his first $1 million. And this is on YouTube. This is done by GQ. They do this for a lot of different athletes out here. But, I believe that this is where it started. So let's get into this.
Before we get started, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all the healthcare workers. We really appreciate what you guys are doing for everybody in the community.
He's a good kid,
it's
man.
It's a hard time for our country financially, but I just wanted to take the time to share with you guys how hard work has gotten me where I am today. I first started playing basketball when I was
heard it, hard work, bro.
I can remember shooting on little tight rims and then going to the YMCA and playing in the leagues where you had to wear the same wristband as the person you were guarding. In like 4th grade, I had a feeling that I was better than everybody else because we were at this AAU tournament and I had like 40 points. At that moment, I was just like, if I take this serious, I feel like I can get somewhere with this.
All right, so stop it. I'm gonna stop it right there because you see that the man, just like any basketball player, once you make it to the NBA, you are, it's like winning the lottery ticket. It's almost like winning the lottery ticket because so many people inspired to be in the NBA and they're just not going to reach those levels. So here's a man who had to put in a lot of work. And when I tell you a lot of work. So he's already been developing to be like an NBA type prospect, if you will. But when he got to Kentucky, he was a little bit heavier than what you see him as now. He did have the 3-point shot. He was the traditional 4. Had to lose the weight, work on the 3-point shot, learn the NBA game. So here's a man who's been working on his craft, not only in college underneath Cal, but also in the NBA of having to play for Charlotte Hornets and Michael Jordan's franchise and try to, develop in some type of way to make sure that he stays on the court for a competitive team. You're talking about a team that has LaMelo Ball. You're talking about a team that has Terry Rozier. You're talking about a team that has I forgot. I think his name is Graham. Last name is Graham. He's from Kansas. That's just that Kansas, Kentucky thing. But you could tell the man has had to work hard, right? So keep it going.
In high school, I did have an allowance from my dad. If I had a triple-double in a game, my dad would give me $100.
So he had his dad in his life. And I'm just going to stop it right there and play it right back. But the key point away, fellas, if you're listening to this, it's important to have your father in your lives, but I don't know what happened with his dad in the situation, but he did have his father in his life. Let's just take note of that.
I'll be in the game counting out all my stats every time I got something.
And how many triple doubles did you have in high school?
I think it was like 5. I decided to go to Kentucky because I felt like it was the best path for me to get to the NBA. With John Calipari and what he does with his players.
Of course it was.
My biggest spendings at the record was definitely shoes. Any Nikes that came out, I was trying to get them, and Jordans as well. Also video games, pretty much. I was a game head, still am. So those are my 2 biggest things.
Wait till we get to talking about the money.
Being drafted was kind of hard to describe because in the green room, whoever's getting picked next, they put all the cameras in front of your face. So you kind of know when you're getting picked. When they said the 12th pick, I was looking down and then I looked up and then all the cameras in my face. So I kind of smiled a little bit. I couldn't say anything. So I was just.
All right, stop. Question for the audience. So you just heard the man. 2019, right? So remember, Shorty had already been to a Kentucky game, and I don't give a feezy. She was not there to see Coach Cal, bro. She must have been there with the Kentucky sweater to see something right here. So, point being, and this is a question for people in the comments or people watching this content. Do you think that they were sexually intimate when he was drafted? Or if you don't feel comfortable asking that question, do you think that they had somewhat of a relationship prior to him getting drafted?
So I didn't have my family there with me, my agent, and my coach, Cal Perry, as well.
I think you and Tyler were in the same draft, right?
Yeah.
Man, I had to stop it right there, man, because if you already following the situation, Tyler's not out of the woods either. And this is one thing that I must say I'm very frustrated about, man, especially with Kentucky. Kentucky, we've had a good track record of really dealing with players because we put a lot of players in the NBA, but also our players tend to be very level-setted, because they get the schooling not only from Calipari, Patino, Adolph Rupp, you go back in the day, they get the schooling of understanding that when they get to that next level, but also I need you guys to understand, some of you guys are not out in the NBA, you're not athletes, you're regular like people in business world just trying to make it, 9 to 5 in it, but having to deal with women that you see fit out here in the real world. But the point being is that the NBA invests a lot of money in schooling these young men about how to make career decisions that can affect their NBA career. So you don't just become a rookie in the NBA and the NBA says, okay, we're going to give you a shitload of money and then think that the NBA is not going to talk to you about how to recognize when girls are trying to be after your bag. So the NBA does do that. But I don't know what happened with the Tyler situation and him, because it seems to me that they didn't elect to take this NBA course. Just my opinion.
I think we were just really excited just to be in the green room together. For me to go 12 and him to go 13, I think that was really big for both of us. I mean, that night we just couldn't really think about anything else. My contract is 4 years, 17.8 million.
Woo!
Once I heard the number, it honestly didn't feel real. You don't get any money till like November, so you don't see any check or anything. I mean, at the time I didn't have any money, so it didn't feel like I had money. It's extremely important to save your money, and it's really important to have somebody that helps you through the process.
Whew, he just said it. You got to be able to save your money. So if you just looked at his NBA contract can span, especially in the rookie year, you're talking about 3 to 4 to 5 years, right? So he just basically showed you that he's going to probably earn anywhere from like 3.5 scaling up to 4.5 over the course of the first 3-4 years, right? Do you think Shorty didn't know these numbers? I really think Shorty knew these numbers. Now, that might be low class, or somebody might be saying, yo, there's no way she was plotting on this guy. Yo, she probably was watching this video before she was already having sex with the young brother. That's just the way I'm looking at it, because this young man is new to having this type of money. So he is not as experienced as to dealing with women, where she is very experienced at this current time that he's making this video. She is more experience of dealing with men who make certain amounts of money than he is of, dealing with having that type of money and then dealing with a woman. So let's not cut her any slack, because she knew what she was doing. Just in my opinion, though. Just in my opinion.
I found my financial advisor with my dad. Me and my dad would go around and interview a bunch of people. The plans we discussed with my financial advisor, 20% of everything goes into a spending account and 80% of everything goes into a savings account.
Oh, man.
Growing up, I always wanted to open my own car dealership because my dad.
All right, I'm just going to stop right there, man. So I'm painting the picture for you. I'm painting the picture for you fellas to see that the man had a father in his life, but this is just what I'm thinking. That's just me. Sometimes when you're dealing with certain women, they're very slick on how they can maneuver, how they operate. What does that mean? That means that you might be dealing with a woman that basically is going to be like, yo, I'm liking you right now. I want to be your main squeeze. I want to be your boo thing. I want to be your girlfriend. So if you're a college player on Kentucky's campus, yes, he probably can meet, you know, buku type of women on Kentucky's campus. I mean, Lexington, they got women everywhere, but he might have chose to deal with her, but she plotted the course to say, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that he recognized me, to make sure that, you know, I have an opportunity to be seen with him, because that's what she does. She's already proven to do it before. But yet she knew that there was no way in hell she was gonna get wifed up by like no little Uzi Vert, by no 6ix9ine, by no Drake, by nobody her age, bro. So she decided to plot the course to take it all the way back, like a Boruto episode where Yorishiki is trying to chase down a young Naruto in the past, running around Konoha with Jiraiya, bro. That's exactly what she did here, just my opinion, bro. But yo, she takes it all the way back and she says to herself, let me try to get a younger man at Kentucky. But where I don't understand where his father was in this process. Because sometimes you might deal with a woman who's like, yo, like, I'm gonna be your motivation, I'm gonna be your energy, I'm gonna be that type of person in your life, so you don't need to like speak with your father. But no high value man or somebody who has their dad in their life for a long period of time is gonna like even accept any of that, because you're gonna be with your father, making moves throughout the whole way. Like if you look at Melo's situation, Shorty might try to catch LaMelo up, but yo, LaVar gonna be all up in her mix. I guarantee. I guarantee. Yo, LaVar is gonna be all up in her mix, but I don't know where PJ's father was, or the NBA was, or even PJ himself. PJ is a young dude, but I'm not gonna absorb him of all knowledge here. He has to learn and do better, but he should have been thinking a little bit better about the situation. He wasn't, and unfortunately, it caught up to him, and that's just the way it was. Now, we talked a little bit about PJ, we talked a little bit about her, but for some people who is new to the channel, new to the content, you might be saying to yourself, yo, so what's so bad? What's so bad? What about her? Yo, what about her? Yo, I'm about to show you a video of her right now, just so that way you guys can know. So bear with me. I'm about to share my screen real quick. I'm gonna let you hear how Shorty be talking out her own mouth, so that way you know what type of person she is. So let's go right here, share the audio. Let's do this. So if you guys can see my screen right now, so she's about to explain her past. You know what I mean? And I don't care what nobody says, yo. If you were a man and you watching this content, you make a certain amount of money in life. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be, like multiple hundreds of thousands, but you on your grind. You grinding anyway from 60,000 all the way up to 150. You know what I mean? So you trying to be competitive. But if you 40 and you 60, you gotta step it up. But if you 25 and you doing 60, you got some ways to go, bro. So just look at it as motivation. But we're about to hear who Shorty is out of her own mouth. But I wanted to highlight this here too, because bro, look at her picture right here. There ain't no way in hell. Now, this is what we always talk about. Like, yo, women be asking, why we look for these type of women versus that type of woman. Like, we always like a woman who's natural out of the shower. But yo, look at Shorty right here. Yo, they got another video on here. Yo, when she's in orange, yo, she look hideous, bro. With no makeup, straight out the shower, with no hair. And I hate to talk about a woman from Mississippi like this, because my parents are from Mississippi. They try to, make their way over to the Big Apple to, make sure they have me in New York so I can have some experience and do some things in my life. But yo, I never seen a Mississippi woman get down like this. But look at her. She was looking hideous right here. But yo, we about to watch a video by her. We're going to listen to the type of gibberish that comes out of her mouth, bro. So let's kind of get into this. So just bear with me 1 second as I share this, and you can already see the time of this. I'm sorry. I really want to say she thought it up right now. It's just unnecessary. Why is she doing all of that?
Hi everyone, it's Brittany Renner and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi. I know it's been a minute.
And she's sitting there with the Charlotte Hornets thing.
I know it's been a minute since I posted. And I appreciate you guys being patient with me. But my mental health has and always will be my number one.
All right, let me just fast forward because I ain't got time. Yo, that's the one right here. Yo, if you can see it right here, yo, she looks shot like a bag of, oh man, I don't even want to say it because that'd just be degraded. But like, look, the girl we seeing on this video right now, and the girl you about to see on the next video, I'm not even watching it because it's like night and day, bro. Like, but let's just skip forward. I don't want to hear her talk about it.
First things first, I am not defined by my past.
Bullshit, you ain't. Whole bullshit. Yo, all right. Women need to understand this. Now, I know I got a little excited there, so let me comment there. Let me be able to explain. Yo, women don't really understand this a lot of times, but they need to really learn how to understand this. Like, you have to understand that to men, you're always going to be judged by your past. Just like, a man is judged on his future, his earning potential, his ability to be able to provide going forward. A woman is judged on her past, like the amount of bodies she caught. Yo, we ain't got time to be messing around with foolishness. It is that way. It is going to be that way forever, yo. There ain't no point in talking about it.
A man does not validate me. I validate me.
She already got the bag.
Let's be clear on that.
I
don't get too high or too low about anyone's opinion outside of mine. If I wouldn't take advice from you, then your opinion holds no weight over here. Somebody cares about your opinion somewhere, but not me, not here. When people do offer their opinions, I am always sure to take into consideration their awareness or lack of.
Oh, man. So if you notice, she came right out the bat. So she said, first things first, blah, 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 yada, 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 yada. And the reason why she came out her mouth with all these defense mechanisms is because she knows her past is extra spicy. Extra spicy. Riding the CC. Like, oh, man, that might have been a little tough. Sometimes I catch myself, but yo, she might have been out here doing that, man. Look at her. She just jumping straight into defense mechanisms because she knows what her past has been like. And then she trying to tell you that a man ain't going to define her past. Yes, a man will define your past. And that's the reason why men who are on her same age level choose not to deal with her. And she plotted this course to go pluck this young man out of college and be able to impregnate, get herself pregnant. So that way she should secure the bag from this man for future generations. So she was already thinking about the future, but then asked people not to think about her past. Yo, men, fellas, this is how bugged out people like this sound. And she ran straight to all things. She could have talked about the type of person she is, the type of character, the lessons that she has learned in life. But she want to first come out telling you who she don't care about your opinions. She is not going to be defined by her past. A man is not going to do this and do that. But let's just keep it going.
I also understand that a person could speak with so much conviction that it sounds like it's true. Like
what about
the way that they're putting it, they can't be lying about what they're saying. But just because it sounds true, someone is speaking from a good place, doesn't make it true.
Could that also be applied to you right now?
Your feelings ain't facts. You don't know me like I know me. At any point in time, I am allowed to change my mind. Nobody's permission.
Oh, hold up, Brittany. So you are allowed to change your mind. I'll give you that. You are a human being. You're allowed to change your mind, right? But can people change their opinion of you? Or can people reaffirm their opinion of you? Being that you get to change your mind, what about if I decided to say, yo, she is who I thought she was? Would that be fair for me to do that while you're changing your mind? See, that's the double standard and the naive type of thinking that people like this exude because they come on here and make a video in, notice the propaganda. Notice the propaganda. And the, Charlotte Hornets. But previously she was in Kentucky type of stuff. But then we're gonna get to why she's gonna be doing all things that she's been doing, right? Because she's talking all this stuff about who she
is required. So even if people are wanting to keep me in this box they have me confined in, it is still up to me and my choice what I want to do. If I want to stay there or if I have bigger plans for myself. But either way, there is not.
I want you guys to remember she has bigger plans for herself, or if she has bigger plans for herself. Because watch how this video was filmed in 2020, almost last year, 2020. So she has bigger plans for herself. Watch how these bigger plans are about to unfold, fellas. Watch how these bigger plans are about to unfold.
Not anyone's approval that's needed. I speak very openly about a lot of things that have just gone on in my life, and I have been greatly judged for my truth. It's funny because I'm judged for things that people do in private or wish they could do.
Oh, maybe you're judged for things that you do in private that you choose to make public instead of the rest of society or other people in society. There are some who act out in private and then choose to live their life in public, but there are some people out there who choose to do things in private and keep them private, but yet you choose to do things privately and put them publicly and then want no repercussions for what you do privately that you made public. Gotta love that.
I'm for the streets because I've moved on from relationships. I'm not wife material because I've had sex with men. But the funny thing about that is I could become a nun tomorrow.
fellas. Now that was funny. That shit was funny. I'm gonna stop this in a second because this is just utter buffoonery. But she thinks that she could turn it off. It was so funny how many modern women think that they can just turn it off. I haven't had a past. I chose to have sex. I've chosen to move on from relationships. Words out of her mouth. But she can become a freaking nun tomorrow. Let's see how she has progressed a year later of what she could have done in 365 days. Actually, that would be almost 300 and... Damn, it's well over 373 days right now. But she could become a nun. What has she been doing? Not what you guys think she has been doing. I'm going to give her one more second just to let it set in her level of delusion.
You know what people would still comment under my post? You're still a thought. Your Hornets can be deleted. There's really no winning with stupid people, and they will beat you with experience, honey, every single time. I am not a bad girl that's trying to be good now. I've learned along the way that I don't have to identify with any labels that don't resonate with me. I don't even have to label me going through what I've gone through. I don't have to say
because she has no plan, no course of repercussions, of actions that are supposed to be told out to society, no level of accountability, because everything can just be as vague as I don't know what. Let's just go out in the water. Hey, this water is choppy today. This water is calm. What do you see in the water? It's choppy and calm, depending on how you look at it. It's just whatever the hell somebody decides it is at a particular moment. And if it's her life, which she has not been fit to critique. She is not fit to critique her own life, but yet she is choosing to do it. Why I say that she's not fit to critique her own life? Little Uzi Vert, pictures with such and such and such and such. Then she's right here with the Charlotte Hornets so that we can all point back to Kentucky. She's a plotter. She really is a plotter. But I'm going to stop sharing my screen right here because I have no interest in hearing what she's talking about. This content is really for the brother PJ. But, yo, bro, I wanted you guys to really get an idea of the psychopath that you're really dealing with, right? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen there. But time to bring it right back as I share with you the news, because that is who this young lady was. But now look at her. She's about to secure the bag now that he's turned professional. Oh, they was in love. They look so happy. Oops, I guess that was somebody else. Okay, they look like they in love. You know, if this was a love story, bro, I would have nothing to say about this. Let's keep it real. Like, you guys know on this channel where it's marriage or hell nah. I show you guys a lot of hell nah situations, but if this was a great situation, I would be really happy for them. But that's not what we find ourselves situation in. But I had to bring it back to the beginning to show you guys what it is that we've been finding and how Shorty has been plotting the course. So, what are we got to look at now? Now, look, this is just an article I found. Brittany responds to fans accusing her of faking relationship with PJ Washington for child support payments. Look how critical that is, bro. So she could have been a nun, as she previously said. People was judging her on her past. She could make all these other decisions. But 373 days later, what did she choose to decide to do? She decided to break off with this man after she was already pregnant with this man's kid. So let's go back and forth. So you can never build a kingdom with someone who craves the intentions or the attention from the village. Very cryptic, but we get an idea of what he was trying to say. And I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because he basically accused her of saying, yo, she was faking it. She was faking trying to be with him to secure the bag. She got the child, and now she got the child support payments, right? So let's go into what sometimes when something doesn't work out as you want it, there's something better coming your way. Something better coming her way. This girl sounds so goddamn yo. And see, I'm getting excited about it. Let me tell you how crazy she sounds. Let me tell you why. Because she is saying that there is something better that can come your way, although you find yourself in a difficult situation. How difficult of a situation can you create and then get yourself out of? For instance, you're a grown woman where the person you're plotting against or the person you're trying to date in this course is about 8 to 9 years old. You're older than that person. You're 8 to 9 years their senior, right? So you've dated, let's say, Little Uzi Vert, entertainers, rappers, whatever. You decided these people are not going to get with you in a relationship. They're not going to be any LTRs with you. So what do you decide? You decide you want to go for a young buck, somebody who probably doesn't have as much experience as you do. So she went out here, plotted that whole course of action, put about probably 2 to 3 years into him, but then also decided after that 2 or 3 years that she was pregnant with the baby, time to move on. And then she thinks something better is going to come her way, as if she just wasn't making a 3 to 4 year plot. So who else is she going to be plotting on? Is it going to take her 3 or 4 years to go plot on that next person? That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Although it's difficult to believe, something better from where you stand, sometimes redirection is helpful intervention, leading you away from problems you could not predict. Oh my God. She knew damn well she could predict these problems because these things were not just going to happen with anybody, but she chose to do this. Sometimes mistakes lead you to lessons learned and growth gained. Bro, what lessons did she have to learn? If anything, he's the one that had to learn the lesson. But yo, that's just the way she is, bro. And then you see PJ right here. You see the day he's like, yo, you was faking it all along. And now we have a young brother who is scarred, And what I mean by this, and when I say scarred, sisters, think about this. Think about this. And this is why, modern women who are not with the whole times, who understand that the situation is just not the way it should be, who understand that they want fairness, equality, but they don't want this type of level of bullshit, right? Where you could just be plotting on younger dudes. But yo, modern women need to call this lady out. Yo, she was just faking it the whole time. But this is what I want sisters to think about. You got a brother here who was on his rookie contract, making anywhere from 3.5 million up to 4.5 million over the course of his first few years. So let's say, for instance, if he manages to keep his head, his psyche throughout this whole process, right? He goes into a bigger contract if he's able to perform. Then when you see this man step outside and start dating a white woman, a Spanish woman, some woman outside of the black race, people gonna have a problem with it. And I know some people are gonna look at Brittany and say, well, she ain't in the race either. But it's up to women within our race to be able to correct these errors. Unfortunately, sometimes we put ourselves in them. I'm not gonna lie about that. But if he decides to go out there and date a white woman based off the experience he had with a so-called, I don't know what she identifies as, but you can't really be mad at the brother because now he's going to be afraid of everything. He's going to be afraid of dealing with a woman because a woman might just try to secure the bag with him and break up. And what this chick tried to do was, this is basically a newborn baby that she just wants to get child support payments on for 18 to 20 years. And I just think it's a sad situation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. I appreciate you guys staying tuned to the end of the video. I know it was a long video, but we have to be able to talk about this and bring this to the community, man, because it's really a bad situation that we find ourselves dealing with the brother PJ Washington. And we got to show Mello and other brothers, bro, it ain't going to happen to you guys. So, PJ, if you can learn a lesson from this, we really hope that you do. But, next time you see some woman plotting on you, kid, or be able to relay that information out to other young NBA players who are coming into the league for the first time, if you get a chance to speak to them, let them know that, there's people out here that will do them dirty like that will do them greasy like that. So I just had to bring the video to the community and let the community decide, bro. Do you think that a woman like this who goes around conducting actions like such would ever be wifey or marriage material, as she said? I'm gonna have to say hell no. Nah. But you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments, bro. But I appreciate you staying to the end of the video. If you like the content, feel free to hit the like button. But if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Until the next one, marriage or hell nah. We out.